Time for another tier list. I'm going to call this the Epic Edition. So we're going to start out with what is the most epic of all. I'm lumping in The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings together. And of course, this, I could say it shaped my childhood. I'm going to say it's part of my personality. This is kind of how I view all books and movies, is through this epic fantasy lens. I kind of, it's informed how I write a little bit. And I love The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. All right, with that, I always kind of lump these two together, The Hobbit and Chronicles of Narnia. I feel like this might not be part of my personality quite as much as the Lord of the Rings, but it definitely shaped my childhood. I do love both of these series so much. But the Lord of the Rings is a little nearer and dearer to my heart. With that, let's talk about the Wizard of Earthsea. I I'm sorry, I don't have a whole lot to say about the Wizard of Earthsea. I had a friend who loved this book. I had a hard time finishing it, to be quite frank. I did eventually get the audiobook and I half-heartedly listened to it, but I just, for some reason, I could not get into it. I'm sorry if that offends you. Not my personal cup of tea. With that, let's go to Neverending Story. Again, this is such an epic story. I watched the movies when I was really little. I didn't read it until I was a little bit older. I tried to in high school, but it was a little bit dense for me. I'm kind of a slow reader. Um, so I enjoy it, but I don't know. I didn't get into it the way a lot of others did. So I was sorry about that, but not my personal favorite. Aragon. Oh dear, Aragon. So this is where I show my book snobbery a little bit. I also did not finish Aragon. Not even the first book. I didn't read any more. I read about two-thirds of the first book. I was so annoyed because I felt like it stole bits and pieces of some of my favorite books and didn't do it as well. So that was my personal feeling. So I struggled with Aragon. I like the idea. I appreciate that he's a young author. But I was just being a little snobby and didn't think it did justice to other works that came before it. All right, Dune. Oh my goodness, I feel like this video is so much more negative than the last one. Dune. My brother loves this. It's probably part of his personality. I like I said before, I have a hard time with dense books. I know The Lord of the Rings is dense, but I trudged through that because I loved it so much. Dune, I really struggled with this one. I want to enjoy it. I thought the movies were well done. There were parts of it that I thought were really interesting that made me think, but as a whole, I really struggled. The only way I got through it was with the audiobook, and even then it was hard for me to focus on it. So I apologize to Dune fans everywhere. I am sorry. I hope we can still be friends. Twilight. Oh goodness, Twilight. So this, yeah, let's just say I read one and like a couple chapters of book two. I'm not into vampires. I'm sorry, not my thing. I did enjoy, well, I watched the movie with a friend and I enjoyed that time with my friend. And the first book, moderately entertaining, but we all we all know about Twilight. All right, Harry Potter. Okay, let's end this on a good note. So Harry Potter, obviously, I grew up with Harry Potter. I'm like the same age as Daniel Radcliffe, so Harry Potter, this shaped my childhood. I will always love it regardless of what people have to say about it or what J.K. Rowling has to say about it, how she tries to ruin her stuff nowadays. Um, I I still think this is always going to be part of my personality. So with that, I will end this epic tier list.